It's only a game. Why you have to be mad?
Quick reminder, all of the lore and information, storyboards, etc. are from nextersglobal and Herowars's webpage, as well as in-game content, which I'll link below. And any stat and skill information that is not from in-game content that I show is from Dan Buccini's Dan Butch Casting Hero Wars Guide, which I will also link below. Thanks. Aurora is an elf. More specifically, she's a light elf. She, unlike the Tolkien elves or the classic elves that you think of, her land of Riversar is a very peaceful place. They like to study music and architecture, but not Aurora. Aurora sought battle. She really wanted to join military service, and she couldn't understand why her native lands were separate from wars. She wanted to be part of them, so she ran away. She trained very hard. She was one of the very few female soldiers in the Karun's army, and after a little while of war, she heard that the Lord of Chaos was attacking Riversar, her homeland. Every day, she still prayed to her patroness, Tamari, which I'm not 100% sure what Tamari is just yet. Some sort of elf god, goddess, deity. Not sure yet. I'm going to do a little bit more research and figure that out. But what happened was the Lord of Chaos tempted some of those elves from her homeland to basically attack the homeland, and she decided to head home to try to defend her homeland using her newfound training. But there was just too many of the dark elves. Being a light elf, a very devout light elf, again, praying to the patroness, Tamari, she was actually saved at the last minute through torture and pain and just unbearable suffering. She was saved at the last minute. And Tamari's gift helped eliminate all of the evil in Riversar, all of the dark elves. This gift from the goddess Tamari actually made her into a paladin, hence her being a tank in the front line in the game of Hero Wars. So turns out she's a light elf paladin. How cool is that? Okay, let's talk about Aurora, the light elf tank paladin class. 4 hero abilities, just like everybody else. Her activated ability, her green ability, her blue, and her purple I'll cover in just a little bit. But for the most part, it's all dependent on magic attack. So this is more of a magic attack hero, similar to Astaroth. She's got 3 skins, default skin being strength, since strength is her main stat. Again, stats and ranking, I'll cover that elsewhere in this video. Nordic skin is dodge. Dodge is kind of her main mitigation stat, and dodge really isn't that great versus really high level opponents. Probably not the best mitigation stat. Health really is where it's at. So in the skins that I would unlock, I'd unlock the Nordic skin first, because her health isn't that great and her strength isn't that great overall. She really needs to rely on her dodge. It's also probably the coolest skin. not very paladin-y, but it is what it is. Real quick, tank, strength, front line. Here's the stats. I'll cover the stats elsewhere. Her glyphs are magic attack, health, magic penetration, dodge, and strength. You really want to focus on the mitigation. I don't know that I'd spend any on magic penetration, because none of her abilities, I mean, yeah, I guess they are, but she's going to be mostly attacking people on the front line. Her abilities do hit people in the back occasionally, but I don't know. Focusing on the dodge would be most important, and the health. Gift of the Elements, of course, nothing great there. And then her artifacts are pretty standard fare for tanks. I haven't done anything to unlock them because I do not like Aurora, and I won't level Aurora. But her main artifact is dodge chance, and then she's got dodge and health and then strength. So you can see that there's no armor gain at all. There's no magic defense at all. It's just straight dodge and health. So not a great tank unless you're going up against a lot of full mage teams, and then even then there are slightly better choices. So that is the intro. Aurora has 4 skills, just like every hero. Her gray skill is the Crystal of Celius. A light flash strikes at the center of the enemy team and deals damage to all enemies around the point of impact. This is her activated ultimate ability. It is based on magic attack, and it's a nice team AoE damage spell. Her green ability is a stun. Crystalline Onslaught stuns and damages a nearby target. It's not always the closest target. It's not always the highest damage or highest intellect. It damages a nearby target. I believe it's supposed to damage one of the people in the front line. Stun chance, of course, lowered if the target's level is above a certain level. Again, additional damage depends on magic attack. Like Astaroth, all of her abilities actually are based on magic attack, even though she's a physical tank. Her blue ability, Piercing Light, casts a spark of light which deals damage to all rivals in its way. Another area of effect damage skill. This one's more of a rolling kind of front to back skill, and this one's damage is modified by magic attack as well. And finally, her violet skill, her her penultimate final skill that gets unlocked is actually a passive skill. She has a shield. The shield partially absorbs magic damage, and after absorbing a certain amount of damage, the shield explodes, damaging nearby enemies. And this is one of 2 things that you really need to have on Aurora to be an actual primary tank. You need a high dodge skill, which I'm going to go over in the stats a little bit more. But you need a high dodge skill, and you definitely need this Rainbow Halo Violet skill unlocked. So let's cover Aurora's stats real quick. First of all, she's a frontline hero as a tank. Her main stat is strength. Her combat order is second. Default power ranking overall is 28th, which is kind of terrible. After her max skins are applied, she is about rank 27th, which is still pretty poor. Number of skins available is 3. Let's see. She's 5th in health, and that's really the only thing that she's got. Okay. Her armor ranking is 38th overall. Her defense ranking is 40th overall. And then her physical attack is 28. Magic attack is 26th overall. And then intelligence 21, agility 18, and strength is 11. 11th ranked strength overall as a strength primary hero. Top third for sure, but again, this is a tank, so defensive skills matter more, and she doesn't have great skills. What she does have is a very high dodge percentage. Her activated ability with her artifact weapon is a dodge, and you really need it. In order for this tank to be effective. It's a different kind of tank, and I've heard from higher level players that while she's a great thought to be used as a counter to the twins, given her violet ability and her dodge skill, it just seems like the dodge chance isn't as good as just straight damage mitigation, and some of the active abilities that some of the other tanks have, like Ziri's Burrow or Astaroth's Team Shield and Resurrection. So not my favorite tank, but those are the stats. So I'm just not a fan of Aurora, both aesthetically and statistically within the game. She's a dodge tank and designed to counter magic teams, but her magic defense ranking is close to the bottom, and her dodge ranking isn't even in the top 3. So, I'm not really sure. Her active abilities help absolutely, but as a tank, I'm just not a huge fan. So a couple of pros: she can survive versus the twins very well, and deal a lot of damage back using her violet ability. She's got AoE abilities, and she does have high health, but she's top 5 as a tank. She should. Armor is really low, depends on the dodge, and even at high levels, dodge really isn't that great. So in the right group, she's a great counter to the twins or caster heavy teams, but I'm just not a fan. I'm just not a fan. That being said, that's the great part about this game is there are 45 different heroes, 46 actually, to choose from, and you can do it however you like.